I'm Tash.
And I'm Lonnie.
And we're My Two Wives. Welcome back. We made it.
Yes. And we're here to talk about our journey into
Body image.
and
Yes.
sort of a couple of things that we went through as well.
Yeah. So we have had ups and downs as women with our body image through young adolescence, then maturing into motherhood and going into that part of our lives. And along that came the ups and downs with loving and hating our bodies.
As a young adolescent or a young girl, you were on the chunkier side. And then I was on the not typical, because I'm Polynesian, so the Tongan. I just had bigger traits compared to the standard size 6 or size 4.
They were tiny, size 0 nearly,
Aussie
when we
girls.
were in grade 8. Yeah. So in grade 7, my journey started as way back as a young child, growing up in a WOG household and being very food centric, and also
Foodies for life.
Foodies for life. My dad had an absolute love affair with food, and
Yep.
he was an incredible cook.
Midnight garlic pizzas.
Oh, you
midnight
name it.
lasagna feeds.
Yeah. And it wasn't just food for the sake of eating food like takeaways. It was really good quality food, and it was just, that is where my love affair for passion for eating came from. Unfortunately, though, I did get very chunky in my later primary school years, and as I got to grade 7, I then started to take a lot of control of my eating, and I happened to lose quite a lot of weight before I entered high school, right as that transition happened, and that's when I met Lonnie. And in fact, our whole meeting, and the reason we ended up becoming friends, was because we were put in that gym class and because we looked a similar size.
Yeah, we definitely were. So I remember like everyone was like, what size?
Yeah.
I don't know, is size 0 a size or size 2? Like
They were just very petite
at
little
62
young
kilos.
girls, and we were
13 we were, or
Yeah,
12.
that's right,
I
we were
remember I was
60 odd
62
kilos.
kilos. And everyone else was like
maybe
hitting
40, 45 kilos, 50
Yeah.
kilos, little tiny petite young girls, and we were just the bigger end of things.
You were
as
size double D by then,
I
weren't
had
you?
really large breasts.
I had a big ass. So
She did have a
I
big
did have
ass.
a big ass.
Yes.
I remember, so I was easily fit in the size 12s.
Yes, size 12 really is
Yeah.
what we were, but we were surrounded
Seen
by
as big.
other, seen as big, even though we weren't actually. And so
No, I
we
love that
didn't
body
want
size.
to feel out of place, so we found each other in that similarity. From there, we've had a journey with our weight, but I think we held it pretty steady, and we were not bigger girls.
Your gaining weight was from relationship number 1 or
that's
something.
right. Yes,
Your serious one, and you gained like how many kilos?
30 odd kilos,
Yeah.
maybe, or 20 odd.
Yeah.
But where I gained the most weight was
So, and your gaining of weight happened at the same time as me as well, by the way. So your gaining of weight was the most of in that relationship. The first time you lost it was through through
Well, I lost a lot of it from just simply being single and breaking up.
Yeah.
That relationship
But running.
fell apart. So I did a lot of running, and I was a dancer all through high school. A lot of dancing, like a sickly amount of dancing and moving. And so I don't have any issues surrounding exercise or physical movement. In fact, I love it. I love it a lot, and I've always been physically active. It's the weight component here and the struggle to consume less has always been my biggest issue, and the food noise that I have struggled with, that just desire to eat, that insatiable desire to eat, like that's just never goes away. So I had that relationship, gained a
Gained the
heap of
weight.
weight out of comfortability, which was a really good lesson. And I know that I'm not the only one that ever goes through that. Where you
the comfortability.
yeah, being comfortable with someone
yeah.
where you can just think you can be yourself, but really
Is it being yourself or just spoiling yourself because you're like, oh, I'm going to treat myself because of X, Y, and Z because I can relax because I have a man.
yeah, I don't know.
That was mine.
Looking back now, I'm not really too sure.
Mine was definitely being pregnant because I gained 36 kilos with my firstborn.
Yeah.
So when you gained your weight, I hadn't just yet. Then I got pregnant with
Yeah.
my firstborn.
Yeah.
And then when you were on your journey to lose yours, I was gaining.
That's right.
So
Oh, that's right. She was
You
too.
remember?
Yes, I can remember now because I moved in
because
with
I was
you.
looking at you and you were like eating like broccoli and rice, and I'm sitting there like breastfeeding,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I want to eat the universe.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I got up to 36 kilos all up, and you just
Yeah.
shredded yours.
I was so thin.
And you're like, I'm going for a run
And
at
I'd
12
run
o'clock at
and
night.
run
And
and
I'm
I'd-
like, well, I'm going to go eat
Yeah.
because I'm pregnant. And then Then I was breastfeeding because we lived together.
That's right. No, that's right. Yes,
So
I do
we
remember.
went through that together.
Yeah.
And then years later, you bounced back. Stayed on top of it actually for a
really
little while
long
there.
time. Yep. So I stayed healthy, fit, whatever, just controlled it. But then met my husband, my now husband, still husband. And when I fell pregnant with my firstborn, the very same thing as Lonnie. Yes, I gained a solid 30. It would have been kilos. 35 kilos. It would have been a substantial.
Yeah.
That was huge. And we'll show some photos of just how huge we got.
We don't want to.
Yeah. Well, I'm back. Well, I'm back on a journey, and so is Lonnie, and we'll go into that. So pregnancy brought on my weight gain, of a mass extent. And then Lonnie also
lost it after Eli through Duramine.
Yeah.
Duramine kicked me off, but through the experience of doing it, I felt way too jittery. I was wired.
It's horrible stuff. I've tried it too, so I can't do it. Nah, I'm sorry.
But I did. Remember that 1 week I lost like 8 or...
Yeah, you lost a lot of weight.
8 kilos in 1 week.
Yeah.
And then obviously it just kept on going down because I was heavily breastfeeding and I just started getting on top of everything once I got comfortable and used to the hormones of the cravings and stuff like that. So then I lost it again. That relationship didn't work out, bounced back, and then I jumped into my next relationship with my then but ended up marrying him and gained the weight in the next pregnancy.
Next set of pregnancies.
So again, another up.
Another down.
Another down.
Yeah.
So yours was through your firstborn again, and then mine was through my second.
Mine never went away after the pregnancy. I couldn't do it on my... Actually, no, I lie. No, I did. I got back down. I went to like a size 18, 20, so I got massive. It could have even been a 22. Like, I can't remember. In the photos, you'll see how large I was. But then I did go back down to a size 14 after my second son. And I was feeling pretty happy about that. 14 was good enough for me. It was good. I felt good. But then, lo and behold, I decided I'd have one more kid for the road.
Back to back.
So bad. Third baby, I got huge again. So a third time, I got massive again. And I just said, nah, I can't do this anymore. I cannot control it. I cannot keep on top of it on myself. I don't know how to explain it other than the food noise that keeps you this way. It's that you can never be satisfied. Like no matter how much I'd eat, I could never control the cravings to eat more, even when I was done eating something so massive. And the portions were Richter scale high. Like they were just...
I used to smack out 2 double Whopper meals, large.
Yeah.
With like a serving of ice cream. So that was the 2 Cokes, the 2 large. Yeah. Plus the 2 Whoppers. And after that, but once we went through what we went through to get there the next time to lose it all, I realized that I had a bad relationship with food. Yeah. So mine was definitely emotional eating.
Yes, and mine was more a hormone, like there was something in my brain, like a chemical imbalance, because it definitely wasn't emotional. And we'll tell you how we came to realize this. Mine was definitely just a hormone imbalance that made me look for food all the time until the hunger cues never switched off. And so we discovered differentiating ways with food through when we both ended up having gastric sleeves. Yeah. So we went through the medical procedure to try and combat our weight.
You were first.
You
went first. A year before me. Or 2 years before me. So at my peak heaviest, you actually were going through your
thinnest.
You were going through your losing.
Yeah, I was going through a lot of losing, and I got down to my thinnest. I'd never been that thin by nature before. I'd been close, 5 kilos difference. I got 5 kilos lighter with the gastric sleeve than I'd ever managed to get to by myself.
And I tell everyone, like, I'm such a pro go and get it done, because for me personally, it changed my life. I swear to God. Like, I think by the end of losing it, because I got to a point where I stopped actually buying dress sizes, and I actually just bought maxi dresses that fit all, because I don't know, it was just one of those things where I felt comfortable of what I wore, and it was
those
just
maxi dresses when you're big make you feel
I lived in them.
So
I was
good.
like, I felt like a god still. And
you're a heifer, but
I was.
Yeah, so was
because I lost the way I know I was because I lost, I think, just over 50 kilos. So From
Yeah.
what I am, I had lost over 50
Yeah.
kilos from getting the gastric sleeve.
Yeah.
What is it, gastric
Same.
sleeve?
Yeah, I had a gastric sleeve too, and I lost 50.
Yeah,
as
because
well.
you went through and then the
Yeah.
doctor was great.
Yeah.
Changed my life.
We saw the same surgeon.
Yep. Got like walking up and down stairs. I just wasn't out of breath. I realized I started spending more time in the park with my kids and doing more active things. Even wiping my ass was different.
Yes.
Because I didn't get puffed and take like 20 minutes and be like,
You could move. Like, I remember being so big, I couldn't even really get back there. I was so huge. It was like I had to get
Such a different experience
I had to
of
get
life.
past myself.
So, and yeah, and I remember too, right? I'm not sure if you experienced this, but going through before and telling people, I realized I stopped liking telling people and being like, yeah, I'm going to go and do this. So many people doubted it. Like they were like, oh, why would you do that? Just
What are you
eat
talking
better.
about? As in, like, why would you go get the sleeve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many people literally were so negative about it. Like
so many.
I think the only cheerleader I had on my side at the time was you. Everyone else would worry or say, don't go and do it. It's bad for your health. Go do it the proper way.
You're cheating.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, cheating?
Cheating.
I was like, yeah, cheating. Because
Yeah.
I did end up back in hospital with like my kidneys or livers. Something
Oh,
was
that's
wrong
right.
with me.
You had a slight complication.
I
I had
did.
nothing personally for me, but she did have a slight complication. That still didn't stop you loving it.
Oh, hell no.
No, I know.
No.
When I think what
But
happens,
people's doubt.
Oh no, that's right.
That stopped me from loving the idea of getting it to start with. And all I can say to people is don't listen. It's your life, and honestly, it's your
You have
journey.
to want it so deeply for yourself that you don't care what people think, which is ultimately where we ended up anyway. But it's the result of it that was life-changing and
Phenomenal.
absolutely phenomenal. You just cannot beat the quality of life that came from having that procedure that I
The
just
loving for yourself.
to love yourself. To love yourself is just so powerful, and you know,
The confidence.
the confidence, yeah, and just to not look at yourself in the mirror and just hate on yourself so much, and not even look at mirrors. I had a point where I just didn't even look. I wouldn't even look. Forget it. I
didn't want to leave the house.
go anyway.
So there was a stage there where when it come to like even because I swear my anxiety was created. So I had my daughter, and then after
that's
that,
right, yeah.
just leaving the house, I was like to a family events and occasions, or even going to the shops. I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to leave the house at all because
Yeah.
I was so insecure and sort of ashamed of the way I looked and how I felt that I would rather just stay inside and not have to go through that feeling.
I got so sick on the very same level of when I would go to places of people thinking, oh, is she going to be fat now? Or is she going to be thin now? Or what is she going to be this time? Where is she at with everything? And that constant, I can't tell if she's going to be a size 22 or if she's back down to a size 10. And that would be the yo-yo of events that I had for a really long time. So that's all I was known on, as the never-ending yo-yo dieter.
You know what? As long as you come back.
Well, I did come back and I looked so fierce, and
Yeah.
I just loved it. And just to have that level of control that I just absolutely did not have. So there was that component of it as well. So I think another thing about being a mum and being overweight is how I feel as though society really looks down on you a little bit.
For being overweight?
Yeah, for being
or-
overweight.
Yeah.
And like you just...
Just
I don't know
expectancy.
I don't know if that's if we perceive it that way, but I just feel like people would look at you and be like she's a really big mum. Yeah, and I just...
Even the way we live as well. So, yes, people judge us for that, but then people also judge you for how you go about losing the weight if you're going to.
Oh, just look what they're
Which
doing to
was-
people on Ozempic.
Oh, 100%.
Right now. So today's version of what we went through back then is Ozempic today, and just look at the amount of that's cheating. Why would you? Even though Ozempic has been around for eons and helping diabetics for eons, if a fat person who's trying to avoid diabetes wants to go and get that today, it is so the judgment from the ignorant people who've never had to struggle with food noise, with a never-ending relationship battle with food.
Oh, and it is a relationship with food, because when people used to say that to me and I'm like, I don't eat because I'm sad. I don't eat. I realized because when I first got sleeved, I actually had probably like a 3 to 4 week depression moment where I was really sad because I wasn't able to eat the way I used to.
That's
And then
right.
that's how I realized and come to the self-realization that I actually had a bad relationship with food.
Yeah.
But because I had always fulfilled it, I didn't realize it existed.
Yeah. And I had the complete opposite to that. So in
Yeah.
stark contrast,
We were totally
I was
opposite.
so happy to not be able to eat.
I
That was
know.
just taken
And
out
I
of my
was
hands.
so
I was like,
sad.
oh, don't care. Fuck yeah, this is great. I don't have to worry about it. It's all out of my control. And I
Yep.
just plodded on in pure joy that food noise, people will know that when you have the gastric sleeve that the ghrelin gets removed from your stomach when they cut a lot of it out. Once that was taken out and the food noise,
Which is the want to eat. So ghrelin's
Yeah,
that chemical
that says
we need to eat, we want to eat.
Yeah.
And it gets removed.
and when that was removed for me, no care at all to desire to eat. Could have just lived a life of not eating happily and no thought about it ever. And so that was
Your
that
experience.
was magical for me because I loved that.
And then for me personally as well, mine was I had to come to terms with the reason why I ate and my relationship with food, because I could no longer eat that way because of the surgery. So I was really sad.
Yeah.
And then once I worked, I worked on myself. That's definitely what I did. And it helped. It became a tool instead of like a cheat. So anyone who says you're cheating, it's definitely a tool.
I'll do it for her.
Yeah, it's definitely a tool. And if you're contemplating it, all I can say is go do it.
Yeah.
Don't contemplate if you're not doing it because you feel people are judging you if you do it. So just don't allow that to be the reason. If you don't do it for yourself, not because of other people's opinion,
Yeah.
or not because people say, yeah, you're cheating, and they make you feel shit about that. Fuck you. I just added 10 years to my life and some, plus the value of the life.
The value, the quality of the
Yeah,
life.
100%.
I know, because it just changes because you're leaving the house, you're active, you're learning how to go be more active
Yep.
and teaching yourself the way you're supposed to live. And you can only do that because you lost the weight in the first place. After the both of us had tried for so many years up and down and never being able to successfully do it naturally, I
This was
suppose
the
you could
best
say,
tool.
it was just a really great tool and decision that we made together. And look, the journey didn't end with the gastric sleeve for us. I actually regained a lot, not all of it, but I ended up being one of those people that did regain. And that was due to stretching my sleeve out and not sticking to the small portion sizes and crawling back into old habits because they die hard. And I know that we're not the only people that have suffered with the consequences of the aftermath of what the surgery is like. Some people keep it off and a lot of people don't. And that's a reality that the surgeon told both of us that, listen, there is a chance you could go back to where you were. It's all up to you still. So we still had to have a level of control,
Yep.
just like you would if you were doing it naturally.
And get yourself in the right lifestyle to control it.
Yes.
Because I was fortunate enough where I started my cleaning business after I got it, I think, or I was...
You're in the thrux of sort of
I was
starting
in
it
the
all. It was
beginning
all
of
sort
it,
of together.
so I wasn't as busy. But because my lifestyle and the busyness of it, I got on top of it. Plus my relationship with food, because I realized that was my problem, and I got on top of that because I was depressed because I couldn't eat, and then I realized it was my relationship. I was able to stay on top of mine.
Yeah.
So I did gain, I think, maybe like 4 or 5 kilos back,
But
but
you never gained a lot of it back.
No.
Ever. You stayed so good the whole entire time.
Even through more
never
pregnancies.
she's never had a regain. Even through, further pregnancies, correct.
yeah. So later on, I had a full-term pregnancy of
A surrogacy?
of a baby for a friend of mine. So didn't regain
No.
the excess weight in that
Stayed
one.
exercising, stayed training through that one.
Yep. And
Chef's kiss.
yeah, even with eating, like we still go out and gorge. Like it's not like we don't.
Yeah, we still go out and really enjoy our food.
Just smart about what we put into our mouths.
Yeah.
And also, I cut down soft drinks. So my kicker was I
She loves
used to
her
drink
soft
about
drinks.
2 to 4 liters of Coke a day when I was really, really overweight.
Yeah.
And now I probably have maybe 2 or 3 cans a week
Yeah.
of a soft drink.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the pre-workout another time, but that's with
Pre-workout.
training.
She
right?
does love her
Or work.
train-
I
yeah,
do.
Yeah. So I obviously regained a significant portion of mine, and then when my dad died, I just went really
Go.
hard into eating again.
Yep.
I regained so much of my weight, nearly to the point I reckon I probably wasn't far from where I started, actually, the truth be told. So I have been battling that, but I am on my way back down. But this time I have discovered the carnivore diet, which I know is very controversial. It's very
And
on
it means a
trend
lot
at
to
the
me.
moment. Yes, well, she's a very big. She loves her meat.
I love eating that meat.
She loves all sorts of meat.
I love eating that meat.
She loves
So
meat.
I've been a meataholic from the get. So although, look, my diet's been up and down, one thing that's been big to me is always eating the meat, the fatty bits.
The protein.
Oh.
The fatty bits. Yes. So you always ate like that.
Yeah,
You
I know,
naturally-
but now I'm sad because you don't cut off your fats and me eat it.
She can't take my fatty meat anymore.
So it used to just be like, I remember we would go to a restaurant
I know,
and
I
the
would-
best bits.
Like my
I
lamb
would
bones,
get double doses.
all the
Oh,
fat.
double doses?
Yeah, she'd get all my lamb fat, but she doesn't get it
Oh.
anymore because I strip that bone just like she does. Because the fat in meat
Yes.
is really satiating.
This is what you worked out as well.
I've learnt
Learnt.
in the trending moments of carnivore, which is right in this moment, that it creates the same signaling the GLP-1 medication is giving. So it's
Which is what they do in
Ozempic.
Ozempic.
Yeah, so it's mimicking the effects of Ozempic, which they're finding, which let me tell you, I don't like to be labeled as just a fad diet loving person, and people might perceive this as a fad, but I have never dedicated myself to something and have the food noise ever turn off. But
and you genuinely love like actually eating it, because I don't know why you didn't eat the fat. I'm not sure if it's because people just told you to cut it off.
I don't know. It
But
might have
now
been a bit of
you-
a sensory thing too. Like I
Now-
didn't like the texture in my
But now you
mouth.
do?
Now it's all I want. So I'll cook for my family, and don't get me wrong, I still will have a day where I'll eat like some things that are carby.
cleaner?
Yeah, and it's cleaner. I'm way cleaner now. So I never cooked with seed oils at home ever. Like I always knew that they were not the best for you. But now I've cut out completely. I won't even have like a treat day of seed oil food or takeaway food. That is just not happening in my life anymore. That's more of a lifestyle change for a reason a lot bigger than just what I look like and my weight. That one has got a lot to do with long-term health goals and trying to avoid the health outcomes that have been linked to those seed oils.
Yeah.
So that's a lot bigger this time around with cutting those out. So now if I want to treat, it is cleaner, and I will cook with the tallow, the beef tallow, or the ghee, the clarified butters, and what they're finding out are the better smoking points. Well, it's even not a great idea to cook with avocado oil or olive oil, even though that's what I always primarily used in my household, because they are still 25% omega 6s, yes. Omega 6s, which still will go rancid at high smoking points. So they're still not the best to cook with at higher smoking points. But
What about
great
butter?
for salads. Yeah, butter's
Because I always just cook with butter.
Ghee.
I'm doing the steak, and then I just
the ghee.
I'll get to ghee.
Yeah, it's the same
when
shit.
I'm doing
It's
like
just
the
clarified.
healthy.
Such a higher smoking
Plus,
point.
I'm
but
a
still
tight
fine.
ass.
I know, but you can buy it in bulk. It's pretty cheap. It's pretty cheap. So
Is it?
Yeah, it's cheap. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not too bad. And
I'll
you just don't
consider
end up
it.
using a lot. But yeah, now instead, if I want French fries or if I want something carby, I've made the switch for a cleaner option, and I will just do
And
some
you've noticed
organic
a difference?
Well, organic Dutch cream potatoes.
Yep.
Cooked in tallow.
Yep.
It's phenomenal. It's like I'm never going back to whatever the fuck I was eating before.
Yay! Because I
Yeah.
got my best friend back.
Yeah. It's been really nice because I haven't felt this way after getting large again. I haven't been feeling myself since Dad died, and it's been really difficult. And there was a period where I said to Lani, look, I just don't think I'm ever going to come back from this.
She did. And when she said it, I was like, oh, please, 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 God, no. Please, 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 please. Because I know your potential when you're at your best. Because also, whatever it is we do in our life, when we're the happiest with who we are and what we all are and how we perceive ourselves,
Yeah.
everything that we project out into the world is just at its top.
Yeah.
Top notch. And that's
You
what
can handle
I knew,
anything.
100%.
Yeah.
And I always know that you have that in you. Just when you're not feeling you, I just know you're not doing stuff to your peak.
So Lani actually is a huge, huge influence in my recovery this time since my dad died. She's actually been, I would put her at number one position for the reason I have even been able to get out of where the hell that I was in with my depression and my self-loathing and all of that stuff. So she is the number one reason I even have gotten here.
Oh, thank you, Auntie.
Yeah, well, I'll just tell everyone why, and it is because of your new love affair with lifting and
Oh,
gym.
yeah. Weights, muscles.
So she actually hated exercise growing up. Like, if
Hated,
you
like
knew-
loathed it. How many times I have actually been to the gym before I started?
Yeah.
I used to go to the gym to watch her train.
I used to love exercise.
And she'd be on the treadmill and be like, come on,
Yeah,
wifey,
treadmill,
give this a go.
CrossFit.
And I would lay in front of the treadmill and like probably either scroll on my phone or be hungover
She
and go to
hated it.
sleep while she would train and be like, it's all right, I'll just chill here until you're done
Yeah.
and we'll go do something.
So we had this strange switcheroo dynamic with exercise where I started hating it after a lifetime of being
loving
physically
it.
active. And then she turned into this gym bunny.
Yeah, gym bunny through revenge body, by the way.
She
break up,
she had that break
cheater,
up.
and then I was like, fuck you,
He
mother.
literally said to her too, though, you'll never make it in the gym.
Yeah. So I got the whole. So the words were you would only go to gym if you're getting paid for it. Then there was the screensaver of the other woman's name, which was something to do with booty. It was like peaches, and it was a picture of her ass, and I was like, fuck. And it was like, look, it was a good ass. It was a gym ass.
Oh,
And
it was
I like,
good. It was a good one.
I'm coming back for revenge because
Yeah.
I was so broken after it.
Yeah.
And then I just went in hard, and I fell in love. I think I fell in love. No, I realized I fell in love. So I was enjoying it from day one, because I was like a big fuck you. But then I realized I was loving it for solely me.
Yes.
Time that I didn't want to go, and I actually went. And then after I did that, I was like, oh shit, I actually still love this.
She really
Because I
liked
didn't want to
it.
go. There was a day that I did not want to go. I was like, I'm so done. I'm tired. I'm knackered. And then I think it was you. You were like, no, wifey, the most important time to go is when you
I
don't
did. I
want to
remember
go.
that conversation.
And I was like, really? I was like, okay, I'll go.
I couldn't take my own fucking advice. But I was like, you get in the gym.
No, legit. And I remember that day, I was like, no, I can't do it. And you're like, no, you're like 40 days in. Don't give up. And I'm like,
know.
fine.
Because you know why? I saw the potential for you to do a me, which is to get so far into something only just to
To
stop.
back out of it.
Just to let it fizzle out.
No, I know, and 100% that totally could have happened. But I remember those words you said to me, and I was like, "Nah, fuck this, I'm going." And I dragged myself out, and then I remember that was my pinpoint moment that I realized I actually love gym solely for
I know,
me,
you love it.
not just for a
You
revenge.
really love it.
But I started on revenge.
I know.
started this because of you, but I'll finish it because of me.
100.
Hey.
Hey.
Which look, I'm still in that, by the way. But at the moment, I 22 weeks pregnant, so I've gained some weight back again.
Not very much, really, in fairness.
7 kilos.
Yeah.
But who's counting?
7's pretty decent. You're more than halfway. So.
And I had abs too, because I got to
she
day
got
something.
so fit.
Oh, mate.
I'll put
I
the
go
pho-
back
I'll put the
into-
photo
yeah,
up.
you have to. And then that was the moment I found out I was 4 weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
And it was like one of my last photos where you could see my abs peeking and my butt and torn, which is fine, because that photo now is what I'm going to use for like goals.
Yeah.
So once baby comes, they're the new goals. And you know what? This is a part of life. Ups, downs. As long as you keep going, that's the main thing.
Just keep going.
And we
Don't-
do.
Oh, because I was in the depths of hell.
You were.
I was looking
But
like.
you kept going. And even though you told yourself, I'm not coming back, your actions said different.
I know.
And you changed it. And now you're coming back.
The advice I would give to people in those dark moments is so hard for me to get out into words, because I want to tell you that you can do it. But if people told me I could do it when I was in those moments, I'm telling you I wasn't listening, and I didn't believe them, and there was no way I was ever going to pick myself off the floor. I can't even tell you how you get to starting again. It sort of nearly feels like it just happens a bit beyond you.
Faith.
A bit of faith. Yeah, a lot of praying. I prayed. I mean, I
Faith.
did not pray.
I can say faith.
I begged my dad to. I was like, please, I know
It's
you always
faith.
wanted me to take care of myself, but can you please inject some sort of movement into helping me, because I can't help myself right now.
Because your biggest enemy can be yourself.
Totally.
And people don't realize that.
Totally.
And
Yes.
yeah, it's just faith. All I can say, like,
It was faith that every day would go by and eventually it would happen. And that's what ended up actually happening. Actually, a huge proponent
faith
of
and then action.
faith and then action. And then there was a little bit of luck in here for me this time. I had finished building my pool and I built it primarily for our children because Michael and I work a lot. And when it got finished being built and it was all done, I ended up sitting in the sun. And I noticed that as I sat in the sun next to this pool while they were at school, that rhymed.
I know.
That
And
was-
you and I want to pull out the whole getting some vitamin D is good.
I got some vitamin D,
Yeah.
not the D she likes.
Well, no, well, yeah. Yeah. But I'm talking about there's all D is good D. So just everyone, remember that. Good, all D is good D.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I started sitting next to the pool getting this vitamin D, and I noticed that my hunger levels went down when I would do it. And I couldn't tell if it was just because I was happy.
Yeah, but you were saying how you were feeling healthy. You were like, I feel
I felt-
like I don't want to put shit in my body.
just from sitting out next to my pool.
don't want to put shit in my mouth.
Nope.
I remember you saying that.
I said I did. That's right, because sitting by the pool somehow magically with that vitamin D, and I didn't know it was at the time. By
God's
the way,
gift.
a God's gift. I was sitting in that sun, and I just felt so healthy and energized. The boost of energy I got was unbelievable, and so I just kept doing it. But I couldn't pinpoint for a long time why I was feeling really healthy. I didn't know, and then I was like, "Wait a minute, it's the vitamin D."
Yep.
That my
Vitamin
levels
D.
are going up.
Yep. And then the distaste for shit in your mouth.
Yes.
Then you changed it, and then that's when we got across the.
And then I started
eating
learning
carnivore.
about, trying to eat those fat, because it started too with a mix of eating the fatty meat and then sitting in the sun. And then I learned along that.
Because you're a
funnily enough-
reader, you absorb information.
Yes, and I read about cholesterol in the blood with the vitamin D, is how it synthesizes and how that's a very necessary process. And I was once diagnosed with vitamin D levels so low, they said it was lower than an old age person that sits inside an aged care facility all day long. That was
that's
my
bad.
vitamin D reading. And vitamin D prevents so many cancers, including skincare. Skin cancer.
See, that's look. I just do stuff that feels organically good for me.
Well, it
So
did.
the
It
eating
wasn't-
the
it was
meat,
very
I love
unconscious
being
starting.
in the sun in
Yeah.
general. I hate sand, by the way, but I love being in the sun.
Yes.
So I just lucked in with following that third eye or that feeling of those certain things to do.
Yeah. And then
But
I continued
yours is
on
through
with it.
information and learning.
Well, no,
'cause
well,
you're an absorber.
it started not knowing.
Oh, by chance.
Yeah, it
100%
started
it
by
did.
chance, and then I only just worked out. I made the connection to why it was happening,
Mm.
and then I just stayed on it. And every day, the food noise. Actually, I got a little bit even scared there because I wasn't getting any hunger cues, and I called her and I was like, I might be sick with something.
Mm. And I was like, bro, you don't eat. Because she was like, I think I just need to force myself to eat. And I was like, no,
Yeah, I was-
don't. Take this as a win-win. Because remember when we were sleevers at the beginning and we didn't eat for like 6 weeks and we're like, but our body has enough insulation, we'll call it,
100.
to feed the body and the energy levels it needs. So
Yeah.
don't feed. Just let it do it.
So I let it keep going, and
it's working.
I'm 12 kilos down now, and I'm still going.
So
I
we're
have
going to see the transition.
Yeah, you guys can come and see this transition. It's been magical. I'm really enjoying this time around, and it just feels like it's going to stick this time. It feels like a forever fit. I just don't have the desire to be as unhealthy and depressed. And every day I work on this and I see the light, and it's like one foot in front of the other. And I've never had the feeling of, yup, it's going to stick. And I don't know if that is because of the carnivore way of eating has done something to my biochemistry, but I have no desire for McDonald's, no desire for
Neither
shit
do I.
food.
Since I've been doing gym, like I do every now and then when I went through the pregnancy cravings, and that was fillet fish, believe it or
I
not.
know she loves her fillet of fish. That's fuck-
But eating the constant shit daily, oh hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no.
No, nah.
So
And I would always buy the best food for my family. But then, and I'd cook for them all. Like, they wouldn't get in my household. You won't find shit. But when I would leave my house, I would feed myself shit.
do the sneak away to
sneak
McDonald's or
away.
the sneak drive through
Yeah.
through Hungry Jack's, where she'll just be like, "Oh, can I put this in your rubbish bin so everyone doesn't
Yeah,
see the
I'd go
evidence?"
and I would literally hide my shit food rubbish at her house.
Evidence.
Evidence. Yeah. And she'd
clean
take
out
it.
my car and she'll
Yeah.
throw me all this rubbish
Yeah.
through the friggin' window before she leaves. I hope your husband don't watch this one.
Nah, he's seen it. He knows. He
knows.
knows. He really does know.
Yeah.
He's my
Very
husband,
supportive.
He's been very supportive and absolutely not judgmental. And he always tells me, I know you're going to come back eventually. I just have to let you
Yeah,
go.
because you can see the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So the biggest advice we can give to everyone is,
just keep going.
yeah,
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. You can do it.
Yeah.
I know it takes all the strength you've got.
Your biggest enemy can be your own mind.
Yeah.
So
put her to a side or him
Yeah.
to a side.
yeah.
Just put it over there.
Yeah.
No, she can can stay there. That mind can stay there.
And action, even if you don't want to, promise, just action it out. and just force yourself to. Even though
Anything.
that little brain has been like, no, I don't want to do this, and I hate it, and it's distasteful,
Yeah.
and it's not for me, and I can't do it. I don't give a shit if you feel like you can't do it, just do it.
Or just better than if you can't, just keep going. Like
Yep.
just take one day. If you can't make it to do anything, at least just don't give up to the point of tapping out completely.
Yeah,
And,
and accepting. Don't accept.
Yeah.
Don't accept that you don't deserve more
And even
than
if you take
what
no
you
ac-
have at the moment.
yes.
Yep.
Exactly. Don't accept it as a fully, this is it. Believe every day that change will happen one day. And even though you've got to be the one that makes the change, if you can't do something on that day, at least know that you will soon.
Yep.
Don't give up
You
on
might
I
do it
will.
the next day.
You might
Or
do it the day after.
Or the day after.
Because
or
that's
the
what
month
happened
after,
to me.
Or the week after, or the year after.
Yeah.
But you can do
Until
it.
you actually give up
Yep.
completely, that's when it's actually
Oh,
over.
Yeah, 100%.
And you can. And hopefully you guys can see my journey as I try to lose another 20 to 25 kilos would be fantastic.
And come gain with me over the next few episodes. 'Cause
Pregnancy weight.
obviously, yeah, we're going to keep on gaining for a little bit because we're growing a little cookie monster in here.
Another spawn,
Yeah, another legion
another legion.
to add to my leg.
Yeah, your legacy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll explain to you guys in other episodes about that legacy and
Yeah.
the things we do. But
For our
come
babies.
grow with us, and we will
Yeah.
speak to you soon. And yeah,
And we'll say a little prayer for you.
yeah, 100% we will.
Today we
And
pray that you
Everyone's-
make it through, that you take another step forward to the
Yeah.
direction for the life you want to live. So
yeah, and don't give up.
don't
Just
give
keep
up.
swimming.
Please keep swimming.
God
Okay,
bless.
bye.
Bye.